Hello everybody, got another class explainer guide for you. This time we're going to be talking about the knight. Knights are amazing. Let's go to the abilities first. Knight's skill set is Arts of War and the War Lions version. They've got all the Rend abilities. So Rend Helm breaks your helmet, or I guess I should say the target's helmet. Armor, Rend armor obviously breaks the armor. Rend shield. So these four are pretty self-explanatory. Rendmp reduces your target's MP. I believe that's by 50% when it's successful, which is kind of interesting because I really like to dual wield with knights, and when you're dual wielding, both weapons have the chance to do the rend, right? So like, if you're successful with Rend MP on both weapons, or both times that you swing, you will take away all of their MP. Literally all their MP. So, pretty interesting. Although I don't really use that much. I really like the Rend speed ability. This is probably my favorite one. Speed is the... I will always argue that speed is the most important stat in the game, because if you can get high, let's say you double your enemy's speed, well, you'll be taking actions twice as fast as your enemies, and one of the ways that you can kind of artificially inflate your own speed is by reducing theirs. And this again works amazingly well with dual wield, because again, when you're dual wielding, every chance I guess every time you use Rend speed, your weapon will swing twice. So if you're successful with Rend speed, you take 2 speed away from your target. Now, if you're successful with both swings, you take 4 speed away from your target. It's just amazing. It's one of the better ways also, or one of the great skill sets to go along with JP farming, right? You can basically wipe out every enemy on the map and then rend the last target's speed down to 1. That is the lowest that a character's speed can go. And then obviously they just sit there, right? And you don't have to worry about them taking turns. Now, Rend Power goes hand in hand with that. This one basically does the same thing as Rend Speed, except instead of taking away their speed, it takes away their physical attack power. Now, the difference also here is that instead of just a -2 for the speed, or when Rend Speed is successful, this takes 3 P attack away every time it's successful. So you can rend up to 6 P attack. Again, if you're dual wielding. So, amazing ability. And that goes, again, along very, very well with JP farming, or, whatever. Yeah, like, if, right? You basically reduce it down to 1 enemy, and then rend its speed, and then rend its power, and it's basically, basically completely ineffective. So you don't have to worry about the enemy, like, basically attacking you or doing really anything to you. Ren Magic works a lot like Rend Power, except for instead of rending their physical attack, it rends their magical power. So this is just better for, like casters. And basically does the same thing, though. It reduces, it takes 3 of their M attack. Again, a lot like, Rend Power. So honestly, I love this skill set. It's one of the best skill sets in the game to assist you with, JP farming. Parry. Now, parry is interesting. It says blocks physical attacks with the equipped weapon. Now, most or a lot of, I think it's fair to say most of the reaction type abilities in this game work off of the bravery stat. Parry does not. Parry works off of the weapons. What is it considered? It's like the evasion, the weapon evasion. So I'll take a look here at some of the different weapon evasion. I'll look at some of the different weapons just to kind of show you the weapon evasion. And then equip heavy armor. I'll be honest, I'm not that wild about equip heavy armor, although it can be kind of interesting on certain classes. Like, you know, if you wanted your chemist to be a little bit more tanky, you could equip this. You know, I don't know. I'll be honest, I just generally don't use this. And the funny thing is, I really actually kind of, in most cases, like the lighter armor, like the lighter helmets and armors, over the heavy. So I just don't really use this one that much. It's kind of the same thing with equip shields. I really prefer the weapons that can be dual wielded, and I will dual wield. Thus, you know, I'll use basically the ninja's dual wield ability instead. But you could do, like, you know, equip shield on a squire so that you could hold a shield, but I don't know, just there's so few times where I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually a really good idea. I don't usually ever end up using that. Equip swords is kind of interesting. Unfortunately, though, this only works for the basic swords. The best swords in the game, in my opinion, are the knight swords. But unfortunately, even if you've got equipped swords on, let's just say, you know, a chemist, that does not mean that you can equip knight swords. That said, though, the best sword in the War of the Lions version is called the Moonblade, and the Moonblade does have haste on it, so that does make for an interesting option. You could do this like probably on like a ninja would be pretty cool, right? Because then you could still dual wield swords and have all of the you know, the good stats basically that come from being a ninja, as well as, you know, having the innate dual wield. So it is at least a semi-useful ability. Of the three, this is certainly, in my opinion, the most useful. And then it has absolutely no movement type abilities, which is kind of funny. But let's talk equipment here. The knights actually can use knight swords. Maybe that's obvious, right? The knight swords, in my opinion, are the best weapons in the entire game. And of the knight swords, this one is the best. This is called the Chaos Blade. It you know, has a 40 attack, 20 block. So that is what goes off of your parry stat, right, or your parry reaction ability, is that weapon evade. So, or do I hope I've got that right. I think I've got that right. Let me just see here. Let's go back into the list. Yeah, block of 35. I think that is the stat that the parry command is using. So the higher that block stat, the better, I think. Let me just see here. Yeah, this one's really good too. See, the block is 40 on that one. I could have swore like I think the defender's got an amazing. It might even be the best one, if I can find the thing here. So I've got a pretty extensive list here of weapons. Jeez, yeah, here we are. All right, so Ragnarok's got a block of 20. Yeah, so that's even lower. So the Queen's at 30, Defender is at 60. So, unfortunately, though, the Defender is not that great stat-wise, but yeah, that block stat is gigantic. So, honestly, though, you know, the other great thing is knight swords are really easy to get pretty early on. I've got a guide there of basically how to get knight swords at the beginning of Chapter 2. Which just, I mean, I'll be honest, it completely breaks the game. It makes it an absolute, it makes the rest of the game an absolute joke. But the knight then can, you know, utilize those. I mean, they're the best, and again, in my opinion, the best weapons in the game. The other great, oopsies, hit the wrong button there. The other really great, you know, knight sword, in my opinion, here is the Excalibur. Orlando starts with an Excalibur. The attack isn't as good, obviously, as the Chaos Blade. The block is really good, though, but it also has equipped haste. Now, I love haste. I highly value that, and generally I will, do nearly anything to get it. What I usually do here, so here's the escutcheon. So the other great thing about the knights is they can equip shields. These are great at the beginning of the game, right? When you just need a little bit extra to survive, and shields can really do a good job of kind of keeping you a bit safe, or really reducing the amount of damage that you take. But what I like to do is I like to give the knight dual wield from the ninja. And then what I'll do here is, instead of doing like 2 Chaos Blades, I'll do a Chaos Blade Excalibur. That way your character always has haste. And yeah, I think that combination is amazing. As far as helmets, the knights do get the heavy helmets in the game. But unfortunately then you can't use the hats though. And then obviously, because of this character is a female, she can use the ribbon, or the hairpins, I guess I should say. Generally speaking, I like the hats more than the heavy helmets, but heavy helmets do have better HP stats, so it is what it is. And same thing goes with the heavy armor. Unfortunately, they can't use the lighter armor. They can, though, use robes, which is kind of funny, that they can use, robes, but not light armor. And then obviously then they can use the heavy armor as well. And again, heavy armor, generally speaking, has, the better HP stats. And so you can get into some, better, well, you can just take more damage, right? Because you've got more health. Accessory, I don't know. I'm tempted to just not even bother, because, these can be used really, regardless of what class you are. So there's not much, I think, reason to speak about those. But again, I love knights. I highly recommend you dual wield with them. Give yourself, again, as soon as you can, Chaos Blade main hand, Excalibur offhand. And then, just do whatever, as far as commands go. But Arts of War is an amazing skill set, and I highly recommend, if you're going to be doing, JP farming, have either your character as a knight, right, so that you've got access to Arts of War, or at least give them, like, let's just say you decide to go with ninja, which is a good way to go as well, because they can dual wield, right? But a ninja with Arts of War is amazing as well. So that is about all I've got for the knights. Again, amazing attack command. All right, that is all I've got for this one. As always, hope the guide was helpful, and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.